Good morning and welcome to Village in Motion. I'm Marcia Boyles and I'm delighted this morning to begin our first half of Village in Motion with Jason Healey, who is our Assistant Director of Dining Services. Welcome. Jason, you said that you had been here once before on Channel 6?
Yes, I got to come on your wine program and talk about our wine program here at Green Springs and some wine choices for the holidays.
All right. Well, just for those of us who didn't see that particular program, can you tell us just a little bit, since you've been here only 3 months, I suspect that there are lots of folks who have not met you yet. Tell us just briefly where you came from and how you happened to come to Green Springs.
Okay, so I'm local. I was actually born in Springfield, Virginia. My family, we live here as well. We've had a house, I think, in the area for about 8 years now. And prior to coming to Green Springs, I was the food and beverage director for the Embassy Suites in Springfield, Virginia. But I'm not really new that well to Green Springs in the fact my grandfather lived here for over 15 years. So
oh, he did?
I got to come a lot and visit him and see the community grow and develop. So it's a pleasure and great to be working here.
All right. So your specialty is wine?
Well,
wine and spirits, I guess you say?
Wine and spirits, yeah. So a lot of my career, besides the food aspect, has also been the beverage aspect. So I've designed a lot of wine programs, spirit programs, ran a lot of establishments that had both, and some of the restaurants that I've managed in my career also had wine shops attached to them. So I have pretty good knowledge and background there.
All right. Well, thank you, Jason. That's very helpful. And what have you got on your agenda?
Well, February, even though it's the smallest month out of the year, we sure did find a way to put a lot into it. So one, it's Black History Month, so you'll see in the different restaurants throughout the month some specials reflecting that culture and history. And then with Valentine's Day around the corner, we have our Valentine's pop-up shop on the 9th, which is in Town Center Card Room. But you can pre-order. Today is the last order for the pre-orders. You have Clement's. You can order pastries and different cakes from. We have a handmade chocolate company coming in. Also, you can order red roses by the dozen. And we also have chocolate-covered strawberries, which we're making in-house. So a lot of different items to make sure that you're prepared for Valentine's Day. And don't forget, we do sell wine at the restaurants, so if it's that last minute, bubbly or a bottle of wine for your loved one, it's a good thing. I probably will have to grab something on the way home on Valentine's Day because I'm sure I'll forget like some of us other gentlemen. So besides Valentine's Day, you also right beforehand have Mardi Gras. So we will have...
Now that's a special dinner that day, isn't it?
For Valentine's Day, yes. We suspend signature dining. We run just specialty menus in all the venues.
Do you have any idea what you'll be serving?
I do. The big thing for Valentine's Day is you'll be able to get lobster in Jefferson, Fireside, and Woodland Skies. And that seems to be the big crowd pleaser. Obviously, there'll be other items, but we'll have lobster tails and lobster dishes, which seem to be the most popular during Valentine's Day. So that's a signature item there, or signature is suspended that day. So it's just those specialty menus, but they're fabulous. The chefs worked really hard on them. I think everyone's really going to enjoy.
Jason, will those same items be available for pickup on that day?
Yes, those will be available for pickup.
Okay, good. Sounds great.
Yes, and then beforehand, so the week of the 11th, those menus, you'll see Fireside and Woodland Skies will actually have one of their specials of the week will be kind of Mardi Gras themed. So you'll have that all week long, but on Fat Tuesday the 13th, which is actually right before Valentine's Day, the Potomac Cafe will have a Mardi Gras inspired theme. Jefferson will have a Mardi Gras inspired theme, and then Woodland Skies and Fireside will have the week special, which kind of goes with Mardi Gras. And then to tap off that week, which is just great, we have Chinese New Year, so we'll have Chinese food themes throughout Jefferson and the Potomac Cafe.
You know, I'm having a great deal of difficulty envisioning Chinese, Mardi Gras, Black History Month, and Valentine's all served almost simultaneously.
Well, I can tell you this. We do sell Tums in the stores. I do recommend it. Some people might have some antacid issues because with the spice of Mardi Gras, the lobster, and the Chinese, it's a mixture. It's a lot going on. To be honest, in dining, we always laugh when certain holidays fall together, but we try to make it as best as we can. So we kind of compacted all that together.
So it will be something like Chinese prepared lobster with Cajun sauce or something.
Well, that's not what we're going to do, but if you want to take your leftovers and kind of make that yourself, you're more than welcome to do so.
Well, we're going to look forward to how ingenious you could be here.
We are. We want to try a lot of those different specials.
Interesting.
And then to move forward with the month, Jefferson's Town Hall meeting, which is a reschedule, we are doing on the 19th. It's from 11 to 12. It'll be in Jefferson's restaurant.
Now that's, of course, assuming that this shutdown is not still in effect.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct.
Limited access, not
yes.
the term.
So that is pretty much the protocols that we have going. So we were running about 3-4 days where we decide if it has to extend or not, and then we have to reschedule based on that. February 21st, we'll have cakes in all the restaurant for all the resident birthdays that month. And then February just being, like I said, just packed, is American Heart Health Month, so we'll have complimentary trail mix in all of the community centers.
Trail mix. Now,
trail mix.
How is trail mix
heart healthy? Trail mix is actually great. So it's
very salty.
Well,
usually.
It depends. So we make ours in-house, so you won't have that. So the thing with trail mix that we look for is so many of your snacks are salty or have bad cholesterol involved with it. So the trail mix, not only being healthy for the heart, but if made in-house and made right, can still be delicious and be very health conscious. So we wanted to have something that people would enjoy and hopefully an alternative in their daily diet that they might like moving forward. But yeah, you do have to be very careful. A lot of the prepackaged ones you buy do have a good amount of salt in them. And then Purim begins on Sunday, the 28th. So like I said, February, we just have a lot of things going on.
Yes, my goodness. Well, do you want to give us a little update on efforts that I know you all are making a lot of efforts in the dining rooms to combat this limited access situation?
We are. So if you've been in the dining rooms, I think you've noticed, there's nothing really on your tables. For the venues that have menus, we're doing paper menus that which are pretty much thrown away after they're used.
Your menus are being used as placemats.
Yeah, that's part of it as well.
Which certainly makes sense.
Yeah, we try, and ultimately we try to reduce the amount of touch points, and then when a table leaves, we come in, we have special chemicals for neurovirus, and then also that will kill the flu as well, and so we use that to sanitize the tables.
Now, are you also sanitizing the chairs?
Yes, that was actually something a resident brought up to me last week, and not only was that always the protocol, but I actually went around and talked to all of our GMs and made sure that is part of the procedure. And when you have 380 employees, you gotta check up on them a lot.
Well, this
to make
is
sure that
outside
it's done.
their normal routine.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
One of the things that you and I chatted about just briefly before the show, apparently now when somebody has the norovirus and they call the medical center advises them, of course, to be sure that they're hydrated. And one of the things they're suggesting, as I'm told, is Gatorade. I stopped in with a sick friend who wanted Gatorade yesterday at Hunter's Crossing in the little store, and they said that they had never stocked Gatorade and didn't have it now. Now, Village Square does, but Hunter's Crossing did not. Don't know about Town Center. Is there any possibility of making it a point to be sure that since we're being told drink Gatorade.
Sure.
The little stores could all stock it.
Absolutely. Actually, when I leave here, I'm going to go probably grab some Gatorade from one of the venues and bring it over to make sure that we have it available.
Oh, thank you, Jason. That would be a big help.
Yeah, and then the stores typically, we look at product sales, so what's selling in one venue might not be selling in another.
I suspect there's a run on Gatorade.
Well, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely now, I think there is. We do have a special menu, for anyone who comes down with the GI issues. So ask your, person at the store when you call. We actually have it printed out and typed out with all the different items that we carry.
Jason, good. I'm so glad you brought that up. Are all of those items available in the little stores?
They need to be, and they should be, and that's something that we're checking on because just like any store, you might have a rush, but the beauty of Green Springs is we have 3. So odds are, if one venue runs out, that's the training that we're implementing, that you need to call one of the other stores to say, hey, I just ran out of X. Do you have any you can send down? Yeah. Just because we don't get necessarily, not everything that we get is delivered daily. So, some venues go through more than others, and then especially with GI and the flu, we are seeing pockets of areas. So certain stores are probably getting hit a little bit more, where more people are getting sick using that store closest to them, and that's just something that we're just doing phone calls between the stores on a daily basis.
All right, that would make sense. I also did not see any cans or boxes of clear soup.
Okay.
Now, I don't know whether I just didn't look properly.
That's something that I would need to, once again, check with the store. We are supposed to have clear broth available, and if we...
Now, is that from dining services itself, or do you purchase that?
It depends. Ultimately, we try to purchase it because it has a much longer shelf life.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, there's such good Swansons, and a lot of places have it.
We look at that, and that's what we try to carry in the store. But if for some reason a store has run out of it, we obviously can make broth for you in the restaurants and have those available. Like I know this past weekend, one of our stores did run out because I got a phone call, and just to let them know that we were doing broth out of the restaurant.
Oh, all right. All right, good. Well, this is all extremely helpful for us to know.
Yeah.
I don't think the illnesses have abated.
Last I heard, no, they had not, and not even just in Green Springs, but just in general, it seems to be a horrible flu season. So we're trying to every precaution to limit it as much as possible.
Have you had illnesses with your staff?
Yes, I think every department across the board has had some sort. You've seen spikes. The biggest thing that we're doing with our staff, the same as residents can be doing as well, is hand wash,
I can imagine.
and to make sure that we're doing it properly. And that's one of the biggest things. Managers, me and Michael, the community chef, Friday, we were in every venue going around just kind of doing spot audits to make sure that employees were washing their hands and following proper glove protocols for their safety and resident safety. And that's one of the things that we talk about a lot with them.
Yes, you don't want your staff catching it from residents either.
Well, and we don't want, and also too, a lot of our staff coming from the school systems, they're just as contagious sometimes as it can be here. So we want to make sure that everyone, and Dr. Sherry has been doing a fantastic job of, and the staff overall, anyone who's kind of started to feel a little bit, not 100%, we've been getting evaluated and out of the serving quickly. Yeah.
Good. Yes, I suspect that that's the safest thing, and I know that they have really been enforcing the notion of 72 hours after your symptoms have stopped before you come back.
The flu is actually up to a week. So some employees
is that right?
After your fever's broken, they've really gone to the extreme to make sure that people are not even somewhat contagious, because that's really the scary part is you can go through it, you feel better, but on that 36, 48 hours after you're feeling better, especially a lot of people get cooped up, they want to come out.
Definitely.
I definitely had two employees call me personally and say, "Can I please come back to work?" I said, "No, you can't. You gotta wait the time limit."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I understand that they really are enforcing that, so that's a good thing. Well, it sounds like you're doing everything possible. I see we're out of time.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to leave us with, or are we probably pretty well done here?
I think we're pretty well done, and big thank you to the residents. All the changes that we've made for the GI and or the flu going around. You know, people aren't necessarily happy, especially with things being canceled, but very understanding and very helpful. So just very appreciative of that.
Oh, thank you, Jason. That's a nice way of putting it. I think, thank you very much for coming today. Good luck with everything that's going on and your very, very challenging culinary month.
It's going to be great.
I could tell.